like to impress me? You can pay your bill a year ahead. Pay your bill a year ahead right now. You got all this money, right? Pay your shit up a year ahead. Do it right now. and then you will be the nigga to me. You the nigga. Pay your shit a year ahead right now. I'll shake your hand, say you the nigga. Alright.
That's a sickness. There's just a lot of absolute nonsense.
Dude, this guy can't even get in the character.
They can't even hug.
Welcome to the Any Last Words pod. My name is Keion, aka Almighty the DJ.
And my name is Earl Lonnie Hooks. A very special thanks to everybody that will be joining us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. And please do not forget to follow us at ALW Pod on Instagram. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you. What I figured out about disrespect is that it doesn't mean respect doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean anything.
I've found out a lot about disrespect in the last couple of years.
Yeah, we should actually talk about some of that.
Should we?
I don't know. Maybe if you it depends on how you feel about it.
Nah, we could talk a little bit about it.
Let me look this up because I was like, let me look this up because maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Respect. Esteem for or a sense of the worth or excellence of a person, a personal quality or ability, or something considered as a manifestation of a personal quality or ability. I have great respect for her judgment. Mm-hmm. Deference to a right, privileged position, or someone or something considered to have certain rights or privileges, proper acceptance or courtesy, acknowledgement, as in respect for suspect's right to counsel, to show respect for the flag. Oh, that's interesting. They put that in there. Respect.
Come on.
Respect for the elderly. The condition of being esteemed or honored, held in respect.
In high regard.
Right? Okay. That's what that means. Let's look up exactly what disrespect means, which clearly just means the lack of that. Discourteous, rudeness, to regard or treat without respect. All those things I just read. Regard or treat with contempt or rudeness. Mm-hmm. Those are all subjective things.
Okay.
So depending upon where you came from, like your culture or what house you grew up in or your understanding of the world around you, we don't all share the same idea of what's respectful and what's disrespectful. Uh-huh. Which is why there is no real common sense.
Right.
Why that thing doesn't really exist.
Okay.
I asked you to lock that door because I feel like this unit across from me is cursed. We can't ever just get some chill people that live across the hall. Uh-huh. And so the last people, they were the little fiends.
Yeah.
The house smelled like
dog and cigarettes.
Smoked dog and ass. It was dog ass and cigarette. Yeah, pretty much. And these people, I think that they're like 3 or 4 little ones that live in there. Mm-hmm. I want to say that there are at least like 4 or 5 adults that may reside in this place.
That is a lot of people and not a lot of square footage.
Exactly.
Because I know that's got to be at least a 2-bedroom. Maybe a 3, but even that.
I don't think so.
No?
No. I think it's a 2.
Do 3s exist here?
They may, but I think that this is the.
It's like a mirror image?
It's a mirror image of this one.
All right.
So I believe that they only give 2 keys if you get a unit here.
Okay.
That's a lot of adults to be there because adults come and go.
Yes.
So when there's an adult that comes back that doesn't have a key, and say that this adult also has children with them, mm-hmm. They sit and they wait for the next adult to come home that has a key.
So you've witnessed this.
I witnessed this.
I mean, for how long?
2 days ago. Well, the other day it seemed like it was an hour, but I think it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it was like 20 minutes. Okay, so
I mean that's still a long time as an adult. Like you don't have a key. Like that's crazy.
I mean it is, but this is their current living situation, and I hear this little baby, and it's just like just running around, and I'm like, all right, well, clearly they're coming in or out of the house, so I'm not gonna have to deal with this for long.
Yeah.
I fooled myself into that thinking a few times. It's never the case. Like, there's always going to be a long time. Sometimes when they're just leaving or going in the house, they just open the door, and the transition from coming in the house to out the house or out the house to in the house could take 5 minutes.
That's a long time.
It takes me 2 seconds to walk out.
Yeah.
But I guess that maybe they're still trying to, corral the kids together, or they're saying goodbye to people, or they're forgetting things and they're going back in and out. But the door be open for much longer than most people's doors are open when they're leaving or entering a home.
Right.
So I'm just hearing music play. I'm hearing people screaming at each other, giving people directions, all sorts of stuff going on, screaming at kids screaming, hitting each other, smacking each other. Now they got to tell the kids to stop smacking each other, hitting each other. And this shit is crazy.
Yeah.
So this baby is, and she's trying to tell them, sit down. Siéntate, siéntate. That's what she's telling them to sit down. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, well, at least she's telling them to sit down somewhere. But where's she telling them to sit down? Because this sounds like it's outside. Yeah. So why is she telling them to sit down outside? I go over to the peephole, and I just probably look out the peephole for like 2 minutes. That's a long time to look out the peephole. I'm just looking out there.
Yes, it is.
And this little baby's just running around, screaming at the top of his lungs. He's got these cars. He's smacking the cars up against my door, driving the cars on the door.
See, man.
That little metal piece at the end of the door at the bottom, he's clinking it on there. Clink, 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 clink. He's trying to open the door. You see, I'm looking at the handle just moving. And so if that would have happened here, while we were podcasting and this baby would have just do that, the baby would just walk in here. Then we'd see someone's mom come in here after them, pick the kid up, walk out. Like, that could be a scene that would happen while we're podcasting.
Yes.
So that's why I told you, if you could please lock the door. But these kids are just running around screaming, and she's trying to get them to just like sit down and relax, but they're not sitting down nor relaxing. Mm-hmm. And then when the person finally does come home to open the door for these people, he's the guy. Mm-hmm. And he's, I guess, coming to play with the kids and scare them. And he's just like, no!
It's just a lot of commotion going on outside.
And I'm thinking, you guys are at the foot of people's doors.
Yes.
This doesn't,
like, your room is like right there. Like, it's
right there. Like, so you all don't care.
Right.
And this is my thing, because I am going to right now apologize because there was no episode last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of this talk is, I'm going to work backwards into why there was no episode last week.
Uh-huh.
But this is all, most of everything I have to say today is going to be geared towards disrespect.
Yeah.
So just a whole lot of commotion out there. I don't think that they knew who they were being. A lot of the times when people just are inconvenienced by other people, I truly think it's mostly just unawareness. It's just lack of awareness. I think most of the time, I don't think people are going out of their way to consciously be disrespectful people. Mm-hmm. I think they just have a lack of awareness in space and time, and they just do things. Go for it.
No, I mean,
well, look, because you a special case. You deal with some special cases, Keion.
Yeah, no, people definitely go out of their way to be disrespectful. Should I go ahead and go into this? Are we ready for this? And
all right, let's go into yours, and then we'll take a break, because I do want to ask, because we have new haircut energy in here.
Oh yeah.
So I do want to talk about new haircut energy for a second.
Absolutely.
But go for it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, segue into your disrespect.
So yeah, I'm going to talk about disrespect here, like blatant disrespect. Like, I know that I'm disrespecting you.
Right, like that's a bit of what I came here to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, you already know I'm about to talk about my job. Because this is the only place this type of stuff happens. Like, I don't live this kind of life where people just disrespect me. I don't give off that kind of energy.
Yeah.
But this type of stuff only happens at my job.
Yeah.
So basically, a couple weeks ago, this gentleman walks in, Well, you know what? Let me scoot back here a little bit. There were claims made that items were stolen out of this particular man's unit, that he came in one day to pay his bill in cash, and that basically we stole the cash payment. That's what he's saying. He's calling us thieves to our faces. Now, that is a claim that should not get swept under the rug.
Right.
Because someone should look into that.
Yes.
Which is going to happen tomorrow, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't tripping because I'm not worried.
Right, yeah. As you shouldn't be. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, paying in cash.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Is that a normal thing?
in there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you why it's very normal for him in just a second here. So, you know, this gentleman hadn't paid his bill since since December 21st or so. And so he claims, and it's March now. He claims that he came in to make a payment in January. But so I'm asking him like, yeah, you know, did you get a receipt? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, you know, I don't know. I did blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying that basically since we can't see that a January payment was made, that we clearly stole the cash. He gave it to us and he left and then we pocketed it. That's what he's saying. Could have happened. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. But I tell you what, my experience with this gentleman, it gives off liar, do anything to get by.
Okay.
You know, scammer, insurance fraud, all that shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All those
Insurance
things.
fraud.
Yeah, all those things wrapped into one.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you like I asked Julia. What about him gives you scammer vibes? Is it really just the things that happened afterwards?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And when he came in that day, he attempted to make a payment. This nigga pulled out like four or five TD bank cards and was just like looking through them. And I'm just looking at him like, why you got so many cards? Like, how many debit accounts you got at the same bank? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a description of what this gentleman looked like. So he comes in, dreadhead.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Needs to get a retwist. It's looking real. And I'm not even trying to play him.
Right.
I'm just telling you what he looked like.
All right. We know what it looks like when you need to get a retwist.
Yeah, need to get a retwist, you know.
A lot of new growth going on.
Yeah, a lot of new growth. You know, the ends are like very bleached, you know what I'm saying? Very Lil Wayne-esque. You know what I'm saying? Big puffy bomber, you know, bomber jackets on.
Okay.
He has on jeans, but the belt loop starts at his kneecaps. So like his jeans were literally down to the top, to the end of his thighs, which is insane to me. I don't even know how that works. I don't know if I've ever seen a nigga sag his pants like that before. I don't know. I'm not sure. I always ask myself, what is the point of the belt? I don't get it. What's the point of the belt?
What type of belt was it?
Oh, of course it was.
It had a buckle on the front of it.
It had a big ass buckle.
That's what it's there for, to let you know, Louis V, or whatever it is.
So let's get into why he was disrespectful real quick. So the first thing he does when he comes over to my desk, you know, I greet him very politely. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Blank? Mm-hmm. He comes over to me. Let me scoot this back, give myself a little space here.
Yep.
He comes over to me and he immediately, I'm sitting down at my desk, so you can imagine that he is like right here.
Yeah.
He's just standing there like this, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those are fighting stances.
Yeah.
This is a fighting stance.
We just had this conversation. There are a few things you can do, right? So one of them being what he just did.
Right.
Walking up to another grown man and just having your arms crossed and looking at him.
Yes.
No words.
No words.
Another one, as we know, is having your hips and shoulders squared with another grown man. Putting one foot now behind the other and pivoting that foot. So now you are in a triangle stance.
Yep.
Which is a stance of power.
Yeah.
Right? Because now you have good footing.
You're bracing your legs.
Exactly.
Yep.
and pulling up your pants simultaneously.
Yes.
That is fight.
Yes.
That is indicative of aggression.
Yep.
And bad intentions.
Yes, those two.
And then also having your hands behind your back and swaying left to right.
You know what? You're right.
That is insane. Never do that in front of another grown man. That's way too much movement and concealment.
Yeah. We don't know what you're about to do.
Exactly. So yes.
So
I'm with you so far.
He does all that. And so, I'm trying to go over, what exactly is about to happen here. I know that he'd like to make a payment, but he wants to make it on his terms because he swears that his payment was stolen from him.
Yeah.
So he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, we're talking about it, and he's, like I said, he swears he made this payment, and so he goes to say, yeah, that was my birthday week. I was up about 3,000, so I know I paid it. And I'm just looking at him like, you was up about 3,000, so you paid it. And what's funny to me is that the same person 6 months, like maybe 6 months ago, also came in to pay a bill. And he walks in, right, asks how much his bill is. I let him know, and he says, oh, all right, I'll be right back. I got a clothing line, so, I'm gonna go sell this jumpsuit real quick, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna pay my bill. And so I think back to things like that, because I'm just like, I don't know if your cash flow is that steady. I don't know if it is.
Because you're right. For a lot of reasons right now. One, you have to tell me every time you're going to make a payment exactly how it is you're about to make the payment. Like why it is you have the money to be able to make the payment. Most people just make payments.
Yes.
They don't tell us why they happen to have the money in order to be able to do so.
Yeah.
Secondly, because one of them was your birthday, like you're 12, and another one because you have to go sell something, which leads me to believe that one, you kind of want to stunt on me because you're letting me know that you have a clothing line, you're a business owner, you sell clothes, so you're probably fresh, you get other people fresh. And you gonna go, it's just as easy as I'm gonna go make this sale real quick.
Right.
Bring it right back.
Right.
So no, there are a lot of questions about you.
Yeah.
Off the rip, just from saying these couple of things. People do not know how much they say without saying things.
Right. Exactly.
People have no idea. And that's also going to be a whole lot of what we have to talk about today. But continue.
So at this point, he decides to sit down. There's a chair next to me that guests can sit in when, we're doing things on the computer. So, we're still talking about the payments, blah, blah, blah.
I have to charge this phone. Hold on, continue.
All right. So we're talking about the payments and everything. So I hate when people do this, but this is so on par for him. So on par. He sits there. He starts holding his hands up, talking about, yeah, my ring costs this much. My watch is this much. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just looking at him like, bro, you are so sad.
Yeah.
You are so sad.
Yeah, no, that's a sickness.
So sad.
That's a sickness.
And I'm like, what? Are you trying to impress me? Like, what's going on? Right? Are you trying to take me on a date right now, nigga? Like, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. If you would like to impress me, you can pay your bill a year ahead. Pay your bill a year ahead right now. You got all this money, right? Pay your shit up a year ahead. Do it right now.
That's a sickness.
And then you will be the nigga to me. You the nigga. Pay your shit a year ahead right now. I'll shake your hand, say you the nigga. All right?
That's a sickness. You feeling like you have to go around and impress. Actually, but you know what? Hold on a second. Like this is nothing new. No. This is nothing unique at all. I was about to just say going around acting like you need to impress complete strangers. Like that's not what so many things that people do today are built on. Yeah. Okay, so never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And so we're looking at his transaction history in the software that we use, right? And so he's scooting over, trying to point things out, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, right here, like it says invoice, like invoice. That means I paid, right? And I'm like, no. And I'm just thinking in my head, because he has his clothing brand. I'm just thinking in my head, like, how you got a clothing brand and you don't know what an invoice is?
What sort of clothing brand? Because as soon as he said that, I knew exactly what he's talking about. What do you think is going on in the back offices of whatever his clothing brand are? That means whatever he's selling. This is straight cash to hand, sweater to hand.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. Ain't gonna be no invoices.
And here's the thing though, and he tells me, and it's funny that you say that, because when he came in, he let us know two things. He don't trust us, and he don't trust banks. All cash.
Although he had 5 TD banks. Although he had 5 TD bank
had
debit
like
cards.
5 TD bank debit cards. So yeah, I'm looking at him like trying to explain to him what an invoice is, and I'm just thinking like, this in my head, I'm like, this nigga got a business, but he don't even know what an invoice is. So all throughout this, he's trying to play me. He asked me, you got a brand? And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, why you think that is? No. He's like, why you think that is? And I look at him and I'm like, because I never wanted to have a clothing brand. And he's like, yeah, I. And I'm just like,
wow.
You just resulting to asking me really ridiculous, stupid questions to try to play me.
That is, oh my God. There's going to be a lot of sighing on this episode.
Like, I really just don't get it. So he wants to pay the bill on his terms. I'm just listening to him. I'm like, all right, bro, you do whatever you need to do. If you only want to pay this, you only going to pay this. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and
he said, why you think that is?
Yeah, why you think that is? Like, everybody's just supposed to have a brand. Like, that's just, like, if you ain't got a brand, you ain't shit. Like, I don't have a brand because I don't want one.
He was like, but he's trying to mentor you. He said, why you think that is? Like, bro, don't come in here and ask me.
Yeah. And so I think I told you about this part already.
Wow.
He asked me, he's like, yeah, how old are you? And I'm looking at him like, why? He was like, nah, man, for real. Just like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 31. And he's like, yeah, you got a long way to go. And I don't even know what the fuck that meant, but I responded to him in the best way that I could. And I told him, you know what? I hope I do.
Right.
And I'm just thinking about the longevity of my life.
I hope there are many years left on this lease of life.
Yes. I do. I hope that I have a long way to go. I certainly do.
He said, you got a long way to go.
But I'm looking at him just thinking
you're going to get there in some time, big dog. Don't worry about it.
That's basically what he was saying.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it that way.
Right.
Because it's like...
Yeah, I'm not playing into this.
Yeah, like, these things you're saying to me, they're going in one ear and out the other, dog. Like, you're not going to faze me. You want to get me riled up. I get it. You want to get me riled up. You want me to stoop to your level. You want me to be like you.
Yeah.
You want me to be you.
Yeah.
I don't want that for me. I don't want that at all.
I will not become that.
My bills are paid. Nobody's calling me, telling me that I owe them money.
I'm not going anywhere and asking them how old they are.
Yeah.
Telling them that I just got my birthday money and I can pay this.
Yeah.
Telling them that they have a long way to go until they understand things, or until maybe they can have what it takes to build a brand. I'm not doing any of those things.
Yeah. Yep. What else this nigga said?
Man, I wonder who his parents are.
Just one of the most disrespectful people that I've ever fucking met, to be honest with you, dog. Just it's one thing to be angry.
Wait a minute. He said y'all need more white people.
Yeah. Oh, he also said that we need to hire some white people because my staff is completely black. Talking about we need to hire some white people in here. And I'm just looking at him like, bro, you're just the most corniest, most ridiculous, just insufferable piece of shit I've ever in my life.
Yo, being called insufferable is wild.
You don't want a nigga to call you insufferable.
Yo.
That's not a word you want associated with.
Intolerable, yeah.
Intolerable.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be I don't know if you guys have ever met anybody like that is like this person, but
He has no, and that's the thing about all of this, because I've been letting a lot of stories and a lot of observations sit and settle and process for a few days now. And it's just that these people, they can't help it.
Yeah.
They don't know any better. Like, these are the options that pop up in his brain. Say this thing next to him. Say this thing next.
Yo, this will get him. This will make him hurt a little bit.
This is what they got in their repertoire. And so you know that they friends ain't shit. You know that the people that are around them ain't shit.
Right, of course.
Like, this is just what they do. This is their whole life. This is their experience. Crazy.
So he makes this partial payment with one of these, or he tries to anyways. The card declines. And like, you can't make this shit up. He pulled one of these cards he tries to use, declines. And so he leaves out because he goes to get some cash from one of the cards. I don't fucking know. And so he comes back. He's on the phone with customer service while he's sitting next to me because I guess he thinks they're in charge of us. I don't know. They don't do shit where I'm in charge, nigga. Like, they're not gonna.
No. You got it.
Like, customer service, they're not in charge of anything.
Right.
Like, we here at the facility, we run this.
Yeah.
Like, so you getting on the phone with them.
So there's nothing within their jurisdiction that they can do, really. There's nothing within their rights for them to be able to further help. I mean, because they are customer service, so in some way,
all they're gonna do is channel it to back to our district for us to handle.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, this customer had an issue. Can you please call him? The nigga's right here. He's right here. I don't need to call him. He's right here.
Wow.
So, and I don't even know why he told her this. I mean, well, I'm guessing it's because his bill wasn't paid. Yeah. But he's on the phone with her talking about, man, my car note like $400 a month, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why you're telling her that, but then gets off the phone and proceeds to call his homeboy to catch a ride from the facility. Like, why are you so fraudulent? Why? Like, why are you so fraudulent? But, God. So, yeah, disrespect. Complete disrespect.
Letting people know how...
I don't care how much money you have.
Or how much money you have to spend on other things.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, my brand worth like $25,000. And my nigga, let me tell you this. Because we have to cut the locks on people's units when to get them ready for auction. We had eventually cut his lock. It was a bunch of clothes just thrown around in there, cardboard boxes overflowing, ripping apart. It was even a box of Fruit Loops in there, just sitting on top of the clothes. You can't tell me this shit worth $25,000. And the thing is it's in like a 5x5. It's not even like he's got a large unit with a bunch of like stuff organized and shit like that. It's in like a little closet, a unit that's the size of a closet.
A box of Fruit Loops sitting on top of it is the best thing ever. That completes the image for me.
Yeah, like
of this corny ass dude.
This is comedic. It's hilarious.
Oh my
It's hilarious.
gosh, man.
Like, stop trying to impress me and get your shit together. Get your shit together.
Okay, that is one account of disrespect. And later, I think we should maybe have some sort of exercise through all this. We can call it disrespectful or not, or is it? How disrespectful is it really? Yeah. That's what it should be, and we should just have a real simple 3 categories of not disrespectful. We can acknowledge this is disrespectful, and this is wildly disrespectful. So I think that everything he did, that's what's funny, is that I don't think there was one thing that he did that's just mildly disrespectful. Mm-hmm. He came in there, he told you that he don't trust y'all are liars, pretty much, and thieves. Yeah. He told you that you got a long way to go. Mm-hmm. He asked you why you don't have a brand and why you think that is. He said y'all need some white people in there. Yep. Because y'all blacks don't got it together.
Yep.
Oh, another thing he said that you didn't say was that he said that black ass girl.
Oh yeah. He referred to one of my that wasn't there that day. Thank God. He referred to one of my employees as that black ass girl.
Wild. He's telling you how much money he's making over here, how he's up over here. He's letting customer service know. So all these things.
If you up like that, then why you behind? You can't be up and behind. Or maybe you can.
Maybe you can.
Yeah, maybe you can.
Maybe you can.
I don't. I'm not a business owner.
Because you get up and you don't make the right decisions with that comeuppance.
Yeah.
So everything he did, he is a wildly disrespectful person.
Yeah.
So I think there's some ginger caught me. This one right here. This is this strawberry, banana, raspberry, ginger.
That's a different
carrot.
That's different than what you usually do. I feel like it's usually a little darker.
Yeah, I've been trying out some different stuff. Kale in there. Some
turmeric?
Celery. No turmeric in there. But turmeric, that thing cure everything.
Yeah.
Have you looked up benefits of turmeric?
No, I have not.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit later on in this how I went to a spa all day yesterday, and how these different saunas that you went into, all these different saunas, they pretty much said that everything about them, the benefits pretty much just made you a better human being. Just
a better human being.
Increases metabolism, is good for feminine ailments, dealing with shit the females be dealing with.
Okay.
Immune system boosting, good for clear head. Also, dude, everything that you could just imagine that's good for human beings, like that's pretty much what they said. All right, let's see what turmeric does. Yeah, these things. Heart disease. So scientists now believe that chronic low-level inflammation can play a role in some health conditions and diseases. So this is supposed to help with cancer, Alzheimer's disease, various degenerative conditions, heart disease, metabolic syndrome. Turmeric can increase the antioxidant capacity of the body. It can boost brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Lower your risk of heart disease, prevent cancer. I already said this. It's going through the same thing. But pretty much it just says that you can just become a superhuman if you want to. So turmeric is one of those things. It looks like people get it in like fresh powder form, but the fresh version just looks like it's of the ginger family, so it just looks like the ginger root, really. But people just dice it up, put it in stuff. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, a lot of that, and I had a great time at that spot too. We're gonna get into that, but a lot of disrespectful things happen there too.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your account of disrespectful there. That guy's wildly disrespectful person. Yeah. Let's take a break.
Okay.
New haircut energy we have. How do you feel?
I feel awesome, and not just awesome, but I got my haircut by the person that I would prefer to get my haircut by.
Your guy of a decade.
Yeah. I mean, man, I have been searching for someone that can give me a haircut like him for years now.
Right.
Years.
Yeah.
Ever since I moved to Maryland. And I've yet to find that person. I have tried, I've tried 3 barbers in Maryland. None of them can cut hair like my barber.
Again, do you think that it's a matter of their technique or their skill level, or do you think it's a matter of this guy knowing the contours of your head?
No, I think it has a lot to do with him knowing the contours of my head, because they can all cut hair.
Right.
Like, they do a good job. It's just not what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. It's not what I'm used to. But anytime I go to my boy Steph, shout out to Stefan, he gets me right. You know what I'm saying? Everything about the haircut is just on point. But yeah, he's been cutting my hair for 10 years. So you would expect that. I guess you would expect that.
Did you have any good conversation in the barbershop?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We talked to, he's got kids. I have a kid. We always talk about our kids. I was telling him about how, Ja'Cory's very like well-traveled, like even more than me. Mm-hmm. Ja'Cory's been out of the country multiple times. Yeah. I have yet to leave the USA.
Yeah.
Just talking about, how great that is for our kids to be able to do that. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Because when we were kids, you know, I mean, and I'm not trying to downplay my family vacations when I was a kid because, you know, I still had fun. But, you know, we were going to places like Virginia Beach, stuff like that. But like this kid, he's been to Ontario up in Canada.
Yeah.
He's been to Jamaica. You know, and I have only been to, you know, several places within the U.S., not to discount those places.
Right.
But, you know, just for him to be able to do that. And I also was telling him about our trip to Miami last summer and how it wasn't as great as it could have been because I had a preteen tagging along with me. And how I will not do that again until maybe he's older.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, great conversation. You know, barbershop's always a funny place. Cause it's different. Cause like, well, it's every barbershop I feel like is different because just of the mix of personalities within that barbershop, you know. We got Steph in there, Q's in there as well. Shout out to Q. But you know, they have that their energy together is very specific. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Jazz Cuts as a whole. I don't know last time you've been to the original joint on Church Street, but they've revamped it. They did some paint in there, got some new wall fixtures up, got a couple TVs in there now. So you know, shout out to Jazz, man. It's amazing what he's been able to do.
You want to know why he's been able to do that?
Why?
Because he's good at what he does, right? And because he's, as far as I've been able to tell, a respectful and respectable person.
Yes.
That goes such a long way.
Yes,
and
it does.
People just think that you can be good at something and that's it. It's not unless you're like Michael Jordan good.
Yeah.
It just doesn't take you there. Doors will close on you.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah. Michael Jordan can disrespect whoever he wants.
And has.
Yeah.
And has.
And he's still the greatest basketball player who's ever lived.
I went to my barber, and we always have great conversations. It's either about like the books that we're reading at the time, or just like some real stuff that's going on. His grandmother passed a month after mine did.
Wow!
So we were able to talk about that, like what we were doing. And I sent you that video of the violinist Chelsea Green playing at my grandma's celebration. That was awesome.
Very talented.
So shout out to Chelsea Green. Go look her up. She's awesome. For some reason or another, we got on, our conversations were bouncing all over the place, but it shot in my mind for some reason or another, the whole South Carolina legislation of the firing squad being brought back.
Okay.
Now, when Mikey sent that in our chat, did you read that thing?
I didn't actually read it.
Okay. So, I mean, you got the gist, really.
Yeah, get the gist.
South Carolina brought the firing squad back. Now, I'll ask you two questions up front.
They brought it back or they're trying to bring it back?
No, I'm pretty certain this is the thing.
Okay.
One, how do you feel about the death penalty?
You know, I think I'm not completely against it. I think it just depends on the crime. You know? I'm not completely against it. I really just think it depends on.
But you could definitely find yourself looking at a human being and be like, oh yeah, get him up out of here.
Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
All right. Well, there's clearly states full of these people, which is why that's legislation there. But
it's, at the same time, I also feel like a life sentence is like a pretty rough punishment as well.
I think so.
So I mean, even if they got rid of it, like if every state just banned the death penalty, I'd be okay with that. Just make sure you give these niggas life. Life.
Okay. And is life to you, because life could just mean like 20 plus, but with good behavior.
No,
you mean
no parole? No parole.
Oh, okay. You mean you're never leaving.
Depending on the crime.
Depending on the crime.
Like,
Go for it.
If I watch a lot of Law and Order SVU.
Yes, you do.
Currently on like season 13 right now.
Okay. All right. You're well versed in law.
Well, not in law, but just you see a lot of different crimes when you watch these types of shows. So to the guys out there or men or women out there that are like especially like torture, something like someone that just gets off on torture. Like I'm just like, you like. oh, you like taking a wrench. Well, not a, you like taking a pair of
like pliers.
Yeah, I'm not well versed on tools. Yeah. Somebody takes like a pair of pliers and like rips your nail off, something like that.
Bro, there was I saw snippets of this Lifetime movie, and this was on at like noon or 1 p.m. It was daytime, and I like looked up at the screen and there was like some weird shit going on. Like you could tell it was eerie, like creepy vibes. So I was like, yeah, what the fuck is this weird shit? I was out somewhere. And then I looked back down to what I was doing and I looked back up at it. And at this point, there was a man in a basement, dungeon looking room. And there was a girl in there, probably like teenage girl. And I was like, okay, so he's a weirdo, creepy dude, just got this woman in here. Okay, whatever. Like, so that's the vibe of this Lifetime movie. Looked away, continued doing what I'm doing. Look back up, he's raping her. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is Lifetime and it's noon. This is kind of wild. Yeah. And there are a couple things I'm thinking about that scene. One, how wild to be an actor. What a wild job. You know? Yeah. Like, you're an actor, you're struggling because you're on Lifetime movies. and I'm trying to pitch you a script, and maybe you got rent. You got rent, and you not up 3,000 because your birthday ain't been here for a minute. So you not up, and you got to take this role. You feel like you need to take this role to be good for your career, whatever. But you raping somebody in the film.
I mean, you gotta,
bruh.
You're not gonna take the role.
That's the thing, bro. It's like, I don't know if
it's a movie, Earl.
Bro, I know, bro, but I don't know if it's worth it, bro.
It's nonfiction.
Bro, like having to do the
physical... Oh, no, I'm sorry, fiction.
Yeah.
It's fiction. I'm sorry.
Having to do the physical act, though, of like thrusting. Yeah. And someone's like right in front of you. Like, there was no...
But there's no insertion.
They didn't cut away. Like, they showed this person on this person. You know? Yes, of course there's no insertion. Like, of course it's not an actual rape taking place. But still, though, to be there, that's just a wild position for you to have to put yourself in.
And it's you know what I'm thinking about, though? Is like, I'm thinking about a scene like that. How it's very aggressive and... Right. And then all of a sudden, there's just all right, cut.
Yeah.
How do you... Then you're just like...
Bro, you
help him up.
I mean, yeah.
Great job, Kimberly.
Bro, I would have to look at Kimberly and be like, yo, like, are you good? Like, are we... Like, I feel like I would have to apologize, even though, like, I'd be like, yo, like, we good here? Because it's not every movie that someone has to do this.
What if she looks at you and she's like, get a grip, nigga. We're just acting.
I mean, I guess I'd be like, listen, that's not going to make me feel any worse.
Are you in the role or not?
Yo, that's wild. That's wild.
You're not taking this seriously? You apologizing and shit? You know what it is. You signed up for this.
Yo, that's a wild way. That's a wild way. Oh my God.
Man, get this nigga out of here. Get somebody else in here that can
we get a professional, please? Can we get a professional, please?
Need some real fake rapists in here.
Yeah, some real fake rapists.
Yo, this guy can't even get into character.
Dick ain't even hard. Yeah. This is a wild topic right now.
I want a nigga that's gonna get into the role like Heath Ledger.
Yo, nah, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm thinking. How wild it is to be an actor and be placed in that situation. Yeah. The person I see it with, the person I'm watching it with, they're like, yo, what the fuck is this? They look it up. This Lifetime film, and I don't know if all Lifetime films are like this or not. I don't watch Lifetime. Yeah. But this was based on a real story.
Well, a lot of them, I don't watch a lot of Lifetime, but I do know that a lot of them are based on like true stories.
Like real lifetimes, I suppose. Yeah. Maybe that's why.
Real lives.
Maybe, did I just unlock that? Maybe. This was a man. And that person, that girl, was his daughter. And he had
Life.
He had, right. So this is what lifetime. Lifetime.
Wow, the word life is like really
Lifetime.
making some rounds here.
So he kidnapped his daughter. He has another daughter and a wife upstairs in his house. But I guess he has some secret dungeon. And he had locked her up in it. And it would now there's clearly police coming by like, oh, your daughter's missing. You're right. Our daughter is missing. Where's our daughter? He's playing the part. Like, where's my daughter?
That's insane.
No one knows this upstairs. So like the sister don't know. The wife doesn't know. They just living with dad. Like, this is dad. Like, that's who they know is dad. But dad downstairs with the daughter, raping his daughter, she ends up, this happens through years. She's having birthdays. She's having children by him. They're raising the children downstairs.
In the room?
Downstairs in this dungeon. This is something that happened for years. And he was caught later on. I don't know how. I don't really know the rest of the story. But he was caught. Clearly, they made this Lifetime movie about it. Life
yeah,
is what you're saying.
Life.
And for some other people, probably thinking, no, firing squad. But maybe not even. And we're going to get into the whole how do you kill someone.
I think that crimes like that have to do with like children, like, you know, whether it's your own daughter or not, that's even more cringy. But crimes like that, like, because, you know, like, there's niggas out here that are like, molesting and raping like 6-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life.
Yes. Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
This nigga is only gonna see sunlight through a 3x3 window for the rest of his or her life.
So the question is, if you're in a state and you are to allow the death penalty, how do you do it? Because I clicked on the article and because I wanted to know what was going on, like what was being said. And the senator said, listen, I'm paraphrasing now. Listen, guys, this is clearly going to be around, meaning this being the death penalty. Clearly the people here want it. This is going to be a part of what we do here. Our job is to figure the most humane way of doing it.
I can agree with that.
And I was like, oh, fuck, the most humane way of doing it. Because I think, and this is what I was telling Mikey in the chat, I think the optics of a firing squad is wild. Because it's a firing squad. It's a bunch of people in front of somebody with guns, and it seems wild to us because we're used to hearing about other ways of killing people. But zapping someone to death is crazy. That's a wild way of killing someone. And there are electric chairs.
Yeah.
The lethal injection would be different if you just like took it and you passed out and went to sleep and you just never woke up. But that's, from what I understand, that's not how it goes down.
Really?
I think it hurts.
Really?
Someone told me that you have like seizures off it. It's not just a drift off into sleep. What have you heard about this?
No, I thought it was like just...
Is this something you've seen on Law and Order SVU? No, it could have been. That was a serious question.
Not necessarily, but just from, you know, what I've seen throughout my life, I thought that lethal injection, it was just some sort of cocktail that they put in you that just shuts down all your organs.
Maybe there is a compound that does kind of push you...
Or shuts down your heart or something.
Right. Maybe it's just like a hard... Like power off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Like the way you're not supposed to, like the way we weren't supposed to be turning stuff off, just like yanking the cord out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it could be like that, and maybe that's the reason why they now have a choice. If you're gonna get the death penalty, there's a choice between lethal injection and firing squad. Now, what are you going to choose off what you know about lethal injection and firing squad? I don't know what you know about firing squad, but I'm going to tell you some things.
All right, well, let me tell you what I think about firing squad.
Okay.
I think, well, no, this is more of a question.
I meant to ask you that anyway.
This is more of a question. When I think about firing squad, I think about maybe 5 guys with guns just shooting at a person.
Okay.
Now, am I wrong?
Not entirely.
Because my way of thinking is, if that's going to be your method of killing, just shoot this nigga in the head and just get it over with.
Okay. So, right, like you,
Yeah, like, what's up? You just wasting ammo.
Yeah.
Could have did that with one bullet.
But that's why Mikey was like, if we really being real, the cheapest and quickest way would just be bring the guillotine back.
The guillotine.
The guillotine. That's wild, bro. That was like a real thing. Like slicing people's heads off in front of the townsfolk. And then Mikey was like, imagine like being stoned to death. Like that was a real thing. Like, like the whole town being that angry with you for whatever it is that you did. And just people just picking up stones. Or being
crucified.
And people picking up stones. Yeah. And just throwing stones at you or whatever. And then I said, imagine being up there, like about to get stones thrown at you by the townspeople. And you look out at the crowd and you see somebody that like you fucked with, like you thought was a friend of yours, but really low key, they hated you the whole time. And now I asked Tia. She brought me a bunch of books the other day. I mean, we're gonna stay on track, but she brought me a bunch of books the other day. Shout out to Tia. And
get on this pod.
We talked.
Get on this pod.
We talked about the movie Purge. Remember the Purge?
The Purge.
The Purge. Okay, the Purge. Yeah. And I was asking her what she would do in it. And she just said, well, I'm just leaving the country. And I thought, oh, yeah, I guess that was an option. Like, I guess you didn't have to stay there. Like, if you had money, I guess you could leave, right? Like, you didn't have to stay. But the reason I brought that up is because there were people that you thought, maybe from your office building, that you thought y'all had a decent relationship, but you, for whatever reason, maybe you got that promotion and they thought it was theirs. Or whatever reason, but now you are going to allow murder for a day. And they're just like, oh, no, it's going to be my promotion at the end of the day. Because you're not going to make it till tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, if you really just, that's why that's such a wild movie. Like, if you really just allowed murder for a day, you don't know who would take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
It's really.
Because, like, even if that's someone you considered a friend, it's like, low key, they didn't really like you. So killing you isn't really going to matter to them the next day. Right.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine sitting up there, you know, crucified, and there's like, and you see a friend that is like, you up there because what you did something, you transgressed, and they put you up there on the scaffold and you were hung up. And you see me out there with the first rock. And I pick up the first rock.
Damn, Earl.
Like, bro, that's a wild way to go, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's a wild way to go. Okay, firing squad. I learned this from my barber. Shout out to Tyson. He was like, in the firing squad, they do something weird with the bullets. Now, he had this backwards. He said that there are 5 guys in front of you, and that 4 of them have blanks in their guns, and there's only 1 that has a bullet. He got that backwards. There's 5 guys in front of you, usually, and they're about 5 feet away from you. And they're going to all aim their guns at your heart. Because I guess this is the surefire way of making sure that you go.
Okay.
We all going to aim at the heart.
They got scopes? What kind of guns they using?
I think they're just like pistols. Like we're right here. We're 5 feet away. These are trained shooters, and we're aiming at your heart. And there are 5 of us.
All right.
Okay. Now, all right. I mean, just because I already see that you're having some issues grasping this, just because you don't quite disagree, you don't quite agree with this methodology. There have been times where all the shots have been fired and the person is still alive, and so then there had to be like a last shooter to come and finish the job. They say and dispatch the person.
It's already an execution. Just shoot him in the back of the head, get it over with.
I don't know. I guess maybe the back of the head doesn't necessarily. I don't know if
it don't what.
I don't know. Maybe there are more cases of people being shot in the back of the head and living than someone being shot directly in the heart by this amount of bullets. Now it's this amount of bullets because it's 4 bullets.
Okay.
One of these people has a blank in their gun.
For what reason?
It's so that no one knows if they gave the shot or not. So
what shot? Like
none of the people that pull the trigger, none of the executioners,
they don't know what's in their guns.
They don't.
So what is that, for their morale?
Yes, it is for their conscience.
I mean,
so it doesn't weigh heavy on. So you pull the trigger. 4 other guys pull the trigger, but no one actually knows if it was their bullet that hit him. I could have very well had the blank. I don't know. And because there is one blank in someone's gun, no one knows.
Yeah, but still, even still, you all know that. So I have to believe that the information that you're telling me right now,
yes,
that they know that information.
Yes.
They may not know which one has the blank and which one doesn't.
Yes.
But you can assume 4 out of the 5 of us have real bullets in our guns.
Yes.
So to me, I'm already going to be thinking, well, you know what? There's probably a good chance that my gun has the bullet in it.
Good chance, but there's a chance. There's a 20% chance that you didn't kill that person.
You're right. You're technically right.
You know what I'm saying?
80% chance
that you did. Right. You know what I mean? But so it's just so they arrest, because the executioner job back in the day where you just had some big ass dude in a leather mask come up there with somebody's head on a chopping block with a huge ass axe, chopping someone's head, bro, that must have weighed heavy on that dude, because it was the same dude. Think about this dude's job. Like, this dude came out how many times in his life and chopped someone's heads off, bro? Like that's a wild job to have.
Unless they just found the most evil, sinister, sociopathic person they could find.
Bro, that's wild. That's wild.
That is so funny.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with the firing squad down in South Carolina right now.
Okay. Yeah. And they bringing it back.
Yeah, because as far as he said, that's a humane way of going about it. They get to be blindfolded. If they were like, you know. Hey man, I think, when it comes down
Thank
to
God for that blindfold.
I think when it comes down to it, but that's also for the executioners. We should probably stop calling them that. I don't know what they name, but
that's what they are.
Yeah,
they're executing.
Yeah. But it's probably we're laughing through this too. But but I think it is also for their psyche.
Okay.
Because you don't have to look in the eyes of someone as you pull the trigger and possibly 80% shoot them in the heart.
I thought you were telling me that the person that's being killed is blindfolded.
No, they are. But that's what I'm saying. Like if
they don't have to look in the person they're killing's eyes. Yeah.
Okay, if you want to kill someone, you don't necessarily want to look in their eyes while you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just a dude doing your job. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have like any real like personal animosity towards this person. You
want to know something though? I kind of want to ask, if you gonna feel that way about it, why even sign up for the job?
Like, why is that your job? Yeah, I don't know who these people are. Like,
we should be hiring people that can come in there and be like, I don't give a fuck. I'll shoot a nigga by myself. I don't even need 4 other niggas.
And I don't even need them to commit a crime.
Yeah. Just tell me when and where and what caliber. That's all I need to know.
But see, this is the point. Like, we're trying to find morality, but that's the paradox behind all this sort of stuff. Like, we're trying to find the morality behind what seems to be the immoral thing. Uh-huh. Like, how do you humanely take life? That's a question.
Yeah, because it's like hanging isn't humane.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. That's very wild.
There was this movie with Charlize Theron. Mm-hmm. Love her.
I think it's just like Theron.
Theron? Yeah. Theron? My bad. I put a little twang.
No,
Theron. I forgot the I think it's called The Old Guard.
I didn't watch that.
It's on Netflix. It's basically about these 4 or 5 people that they basically can't be killed until one random day when, they get shot for the 1500th time and they don't actually start to like heal up like Wolverine.
Okay.
So basically they're basically a bunch of Wolverines.
Yeah.
But they've lived many lives through many centuries. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
so at one point, they were deemed as witches because they couldn't die. So what they did is, and this is, Charlize made it through the movie and everything, but one of her friends that also had these capabilities. I'm about to ruin the movie, sorry, but it's old, so whatever.
There you go.
But what they did was they locked her in like this somewhat of a sarcophagus.
Okay.
But it had holes in it. So what they did was they basically threw her into the ocean. So she was down there for thousands of years, drowning
Over and
over again. Drowning, waking up, drowning, waking up, drowning, waking up for thousands of years.
Whoa.
Crazy, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Not humane.
Oh my God.
And it's like,
That's
do you
insane.
do you get used to it? Like, do you just...
I mean, yeah, like, so when you die, are you still aware of your past life? Like,
Yes.
you're still the same person.
Yeah. Like, every time something happened to this group of people in the movie, they just woke up like, oh, God damn it. Get myself together.
Oh my gosh, bro. What? Yeah, so that means that as you're dying, yeah, like you have proper recollection knowing that once you die, this is just going to happen again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it's just dark and cold and you're drowning over and over.
For thousands.
For thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
Oh my God. And you probably drowned in a matter of what? 10 seconds?
Maybe
that?
Yeah.
And then you wake back up. So how many 10 seconds are there in it? Oh my gosh.
She probably drowned down there like a million times.
Oh my gosh. That is so wild to think about, my nigga. Like my mind is actually being blown right now. Trying to put myself
in her shoes.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I mean, think about the last time you like drank like a gulp of water and you like swallowed it, down the wrong pipe. You was like, oh shit, goddamn, that sucked. Oh, think about what that feels like. Like that feeling fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And we're talking about actually drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, bro! What? Wow! How creative. Yeah, I mean, I guess,
Because
whoever
the
wrote
thing
that
is
was just thinking, what's the wildest way to die?
Well,
People hate drowning. Like, drowning sucks. How could we make it so like, you just drown again and again and again?
But here's the thing, though. Like, they knew that she couldn't be killed, but they knew that they could get rid of her this way.
Right.
This person can no longer be here to do their witchcraft if we just lock her, because she's not strong.
Right.
She just
it's
can't
not
die.
like you have.
She can't break out.
Yeah.
So she just, all right, you want to keep living? Then you do it down there.
Yo.
You keep waking your ass up down there.
Yo. Strictly based off of her being one of these regenerative people. Was she committing crimes as well? Or it was just strictly based off, do you remember?
I don't remember. I think it was just because they thought she was a witch.
I don't even care. I may even have to still go watch this movie now. Even knowing this information, I may still have to go watch it.
No, it was a pretty good movie. Give it a shot.
That's why.
Yeah, it's called The Old Guard. I'm pretty certain it's on Netflix.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you see it happen? Did they show it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, they threw her overboard, and so like, did my best acting here. So she's underwater inside of that, sarcophagus thing, and so like you just see her like screaming like, ah! You see the bubbles coming up, and then she's just like, ah! Ah! Like just like that.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bruh. That's insane.
But at some point, like towards the end of the movie, and then they don't necessarily show this part, but that person does come, like you see her at the end of the movie. Someone saved her. Someone found her and saved her.
So let's do this exercise. How disrespectful is that really?
For her?
No, for the people that did that to her.
Oh, that was I guess that it has to be the ultimate.
Like, could you have not just locked her up? Since she doesn't have superpowers in the sense of like super strength or laser vision, or like, couldn't you have just locked her up?
I mean, yeah, I guess they could have. But
like,
at the end of the day, to them, she's still a witch that exists. We can't burn her at the stake. So we just gonna get rid of her this way. Now we just know that we don't have to deal with her ever again.
All right, let's move on. Okay. We're done with death for a second. Actually, no, we're not. So then, as I'm talking to my barber about this South Carolina firing squad thing, you know, I guess this kind of went into because we're trying to figure out what is a moral way of killing someone. We're having the conversation. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about how the way that people die, it means different things. Like the different ways in which it can be done means different things. The way that people choose to take their life means certain things. And how there was once a time where you were going to live in a basement of a friend of ours. You were going to. You didn't do it.
Yes.
In that basement, another family had lived. Maybe it was before or after. I'm not quite certain. But there was a family that lived in that basement. One of those people committed suicide. I did not know this until the other day.
In the basement?
Not in the basement.
Oh, okay.
They chose to do it laying on the train tracks.
Oh, man. You know what? Like, I don't even want to say that. But it makes me wonder, like, when people commit suicide, they just, like, I wonder, like, how do you choose your method?
That's the whole point, is like, what are you feeling inside? Because I think that there's levels to it, and there are different ways of, because I think some ways show that you hated the world.
That's not a quick way to go, if you ask me.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. You're right.
It's
going to be quick.
Yeah.
When the act takes place.
But you
have to
like hell.
Well, is it?
Well,
if a train,
because the body, it's not just like the train hits you and it's if it hits you while you're standing up and you're just in front of it, it might just be lights out. But if you just lay across of it, your torso is going to be in the middle, your legs are going to be on one side, and this part, your chest upward, is going to be on another side. But it's like the body is still going through shock, trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. Like, but and maybe at that point they're not feeling anything. I've never died before, so I don't know.
That might be a hard pull out of the cord. Yeah, I don't know if you're still processing. Now, again, there may be like movement and some neuron firing, some other things going on, but I don't know if you're conscious.
If the feeling is there.
After a train rolls over you, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But that was the way that they chose. And again, that's why I said that there's the way that we kill people and the way that people take their lives is indicative of some shit. It's indicative of how we felt about them, or how they, if they're taking their lives, how they felt about themselves or how they felt about the world.
You don't think it's ever just what was convenient at the time?
No. It could be that. But again, if you say you go out and you commit suicide by like firing towards you, meaning you go out and you try to like kill a bunch of people so that you are then killed at the end by the police.
Right.
Like that's just the way you want to go out.
Suicide by cop.
Exactly. That is saying something about the way that you feel towards the world. Like, because if you, Keion, wanted to kill yourself, that's not the way you're doing it.
No.
Like, you're not going to go out and start just taking out a bunch of people. You don't have this hatred towards the world, right? And feel like you also want to get the fuck up out of here because you're done with this. Mm-hmm. So that says something about the way that you want to do it. You know, I mean, what other ways? I mean, you taking cyanide pills and just having your insides burned out, from inside out, that's very different from you hanging yourself. Or
when you hang yourself, you're sending a message. Like someone's gonna find you.
Right.
And it's there for public display. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
how I feel, at least for hanging yourself. Like someone's going, because you're not gonna go do it like somewhere in the middle of nowhere where no one's ever gonna find you. I feel like most people that hang themselves, they do it, where their loved ones will find them. Like Mayor of Easttown in the attic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
somewhere, like in your house where someone's going to find you.
Yeah.
Like it's going to, I think that's sending a message.
Yeah, it's kind of, all that's kind of wild. Okay, now let's move on from death.
All right.
We've been here for a little while now. All right, I'm going to get into why there was no episode of the Any Last Words pod, but we're still going to work our way there.
All right.
Let's just start with some of these, what I may think are disrespectful acts for my day yesterday. Mm-hmm. Now, I also need to say this first. I had a great day yesterday, like awesome, because none of these people know that I just sort of take what comes at me and I just meditate through things. Like it's really fine. Like people don't really annoy me that much. Like it's really not that big of a deal. But these are still keen observations I had to make about the day. Mm-hmm. So I go to spa, the beautiful lady. Spa World, Centerville. Great. Spa World. Even one of those Korean places where you get naked if you want to and run around. Well, not the whole thing is naked, but within your respective locker rooms, the ladies and the gentlemen, you go in there, you get naked, and you go into like the pool areas, in the pools.
Are you naked in the pool?
People are just naked in the locker rooms and in the pools area. Now, again, the women and the men have their separate pools and jacuzzis. Did you guys get
naked in the pool?
I didn't take place in that part, but I have before. I went there with my dad and my brother years ago, and we took part in the naked jacuzzi, naked pool, naked showers. Like, yeah, we did all that sort of stuff. It ain't no big deal to me.
I got you.
Then you put on.
I just want to see how far you took it. Want to see it?
Oh yeah. Then they put on this little. They give you these little threads that they give you. So it looks like a monk's outfit in a sense, but it's just just shirt and pants, like it's kind of like tan or orange in a sense. And
I was thinking like a robe.
They cross over. Gotcha. It sort of looks like a I don't know, like an apprentice of a monk. Like he ain't quite get the garments yet, so he just got to wear like this weird cloth version of it.
Yeah, I got you.
What were you about to say?
No, I was going to tell you that there's another spot I think that's similar to that. That's in Chantilly. I forgot the name of it, but I just saw it on one of those like DMV review TikTok pages where they a bunch of shit that's happening in the DMV.
All right. So go in there and. The conversation I had yesterday with the lady is when you go out in public, you have to assume that you're most likely going to see some fuckery going on. Uh-huh. I told you when she just told me she was out at like Ross or TJ Maxx or some shit like that, and she was in the line and the lady's trying to return perfume. Uh-huh. And there's a no return policy when you open up the perfume out the whatever great box it came out of. And she's just like, hold the show me the policy. Show someone back there, show me the policy. I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all lucky I'm in a good mood today. This is a good mood. And y'all lucky y'all caught me in this. Because if you didn't, I'd take this place, I turn it upside down, I twist it, and I'd burn it. I'd burn this place to the ground. And she said, I would burn this place to the ground about 4 times.
So much hostility.
A lot of hostility.
Like where does it come from?
Life, man. Life. But that's what's wrong with a lot of this stuff we're talking about. It like the dude that came and started talking to you crazy, talking about why don't you got a brand and all this extra shit, and that black ass girl that took my money and y'all thieves. Is when you start to become this person, it feeds into itself and you just gain shitty momentum. Like you just become shittier and shittier as time goes because everything that you've become and all your habits are terrible, corrosive habits. So, and you just building on them as you go and it just snowballs and at some point, all you know is be an asshole. That's all you know and that's all you do. And the only people that are willing to be around you are people just like you.
Yep.
And so that's it. So when you go around, I'm certain if you catch her some other days, that wasn't the only day she's acting up like that.
Of course not.
It's not.
If you're willing to do that in Raws, I don't know what's going on in private.
That's what I'm saying. That was not rare form for her. No, I don't want to hear that's a good mood. That's a good mood. She said that she was in a good mood when she did that. That's all we need to know. That was a good mood. And she was about to burn that place down. So when you go in public, you're bound to see some fuckery if you're paying attention. So we're at a spa and my friend's saying, she's like, as we're observing certain things about people, she's like, you would think that when you come out to a place where people know they're coming to relax, that you would adhere to that creed, that understanding, that pact amongst all of us here. And what she said amounts to common sense. That is what common sense is you think that there is a pact, an understanding amongst most people that whatever set of ways you're thinking about doing something is just the set of ways that we all think that thing should be done. Mm-hmm. That shit does not exist. It's not a real thing. Mm-hmm. So we're out there, and there's this large room, it's called like the poultice room. There's like a bunch of mats on the ground. People sit down, they have pillows, they just lay out, they talk, they hang out. People take naps there. So all sorts of stuff like that. And then there's a cafeteria next to it. And there's just like, there's this dude on his phone. He's picking up the phone. He's just like, yeah, what's going on, boy? Oh, shit, yeah, you know I'm out here. We just kicking it off. Yeah, nah, I ain't get out there yet. Oh, nah, my brother, yeah, nah, he ain't off work yet. Yeah, huh? Oh, yeah, nah, he ain't off work yet. Just screaming in the middle of this place. And there are people that are sleeping 10 feet away from him, families that are talking 3 feet away from him. But in his mind, is it disrespectful really or not? How disrespectful is it really? Like I don't know in his mind. I don't know. We're all out here. I got to answer this phone call. Mm-hmm. This is the level. This is the regular level of my voice. This is what I speak at on the phone. Mm-hmm. There are a bunch of signs up that say lower your voice for other people, but maybe that's him lowering his voice. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's one thing.
Okay.
You go into a sauna. There are a bunch of different rooms. There are a bunch of different saunas. 158 degrees, 114 degrees, 138 degrees, and they're all geared towards something else. One may be a charcoal room, where it's like like charcoal wood, and that's supposed to do certain things like antioxidants and cleaning out your skin and things like that. There's an amethyst room. There's a salt room. There's like a clay room. All these different things. Go for it.
You get to do all these things? Is it like a package?
Yeah, you just pay for like a ticket for a day, and like you're able to be in there for I think like 16 hours or something.
What is it? 50, $100?
No, you do go hit that Groupon.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yes, sir. You head up in there for like $30, $40 for you know what I mean?
Okay.
And being there all day. There's again.
You know what?
There's a cafeteria. There's a fitness room in there if you want to get some workout.
I gotta download Groupon. I haven't used Groupon in a long time.
Groupon.
All right.
So when you go into one of these small rooms, these saunas, like I talked to you and Julie about the other day.
Just gave these niggas free promo.
Hey. Oh, but that's okay, because there's going to be some things that they didn't quite do. They didn't quite do right.
All right.
And we're going to get into that.
Oh, Groupon?
No. Oh, Groupon. No, Groupon, they did everything right.
Okay.
We're going to get into, there's a couple Spa World employees. Mm-hmm. And we got to question if what they did was disrespectful really or not.
All right.
But before that, you're in some of these saunas, and they're small spaces. And actually, what's funny is I never finished the sauna story that I had here with Julia. But that guy that was sitting super close to me in the spa in the sauna and didn't leave when the other guys left, and now there was room for him to scoot away. Not only did he remain right there, but then he started playing like some sports game on his phone. Like, and when I mean sports game, like there was like a soccer match or a football game or something like that, and he pressed play on it and had the volume all the way up.
And he was right next to you.
And he was right next to me.
Oh my gosh.
And this, in his mind, he's just this is what's interesting to me about lack of awareness is people don't know. Mm-hmm. They're just oblivious to the world around. Like people are just walking zombies. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting just looking at people walk this earth, not knowing what they're doing, how they're talking to people, how they're inconveniencing anything, like how they're interacting with their surroundings. Like they just people don't know. And I see it all the time.
You don't want to be a walking inconvenience.
Bro, it's like that.
Ugh.
So when I go into some of these saunas yesterday, there are people in there just like it's a quiet, calm place. And you go pick your spot and you sit down, and then there's someone with their headphones on and they just rapping. Yeah, keep them in check. Yeah, keep them in check. Keep that bitch in check. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, now there are levels to this. On this particular person that's screaming this stuff out and chanting and their fist bumping in there and stuff too, they have a friend next to him and that friend's reading a book. Mm-hmm. So whatever relationship they have going on, she must think that it's all good to do this because her friend's reading a book and she ain't got no problem with this. Mm-hmm. So the people that she has aligned herself with in life they got no issue with the way that she acts. This is what she knows. Mm-hmm. Now, two people come in, me and my friend, and now we're there. She's to keep the bitch in check. Yeah, and it's a calm, serene place. We're in a spa. So again, what we think is common sense, this creed, this understanding, this contract, this unwritten rule that we think is supposed to be understood, mm-hmm. like the way you might act if you walked in a library. Mm-hmm. Same thing does not apply here. At least for two people, it doesn't. Now we're in there, and then 4 more people come in, and she stops. The person rapping stops. And I'm like, okay, this is an interesting case study. Why? So you don't care about ruining the peace of mind for 2 people, even though, again, I just need to be say as I make through all these observations, I had a great time. Like, I don't even care that you're doing that. I'm just going to listen to you rap and relax to it. Mm-hmm. I don't even care. But I'm still going to observe because I know other people don't feel the way that I feel about the noise and all the commotion and shit you're making. Mm-hmm. So my friend and I don't matter enough. 2 people doesn't quite matter enough. You can do whatever you feel like. But then 2 more people and then 2 more people come in and then you stop. Mm-hmm. Why is that when disrespect kicks in for her?
I don't know.
You know?
It's a good question.
Like your disrespect is illogical.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. Like it wasn't good enough. Like it was okay with 2 people, but once it became 6, I guess maybe she just felt like now that there's more eyes in here, there's going to be more attention on me. Maybe it was only 2 sets of eyes, so I wasn't really tripping, but now that it's like 8 sets of eyes, I'm like, let me chill out.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. If you care about someone's experience, then you should just care about it.
And I mean, if you just gonna be a rapping ass nigga, then you know what I'm saying?
Then just do that. Yeah, I guess. Like my dad said, if you just gonna beat a lie, go beat a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. So that was interesting. Mm-hmm. Go into another room. Now this is a cold room. So usually when you're done with all hot rooms, you go in this cold room. Mm-hmm. It just looks like you're sitting inside of an igloo, mm-hmm. and you go sit in there and you start breathing. Supposedly it's good for your heart and your lungs, and it closes all your pores back up. So we're sitting in there, and 2 people come in there. One takes a phone call. When they're not on a phone call, they're sitting in there, they're talking loudly, they're laughing. And I'm thinking, okay.
Are these rooms timed or anything?
You can be in there as long as you want to.
All right. So I'm just trying to think of everything that I can here.
And I get it. I'm trying to cover all the bases too, because I'm thinking we all have to understand that we're all going to be in these tiny rooms together. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we all have to understand that everyone's not going to be completely quiet. Like, stop talking at all.
Did you even have your phone on you?
No.
It was. I'm saying
my phone is way back in the lock. Yeah, I'm not bringing my phone in all these rooms. Like, but a lot of people had their phones with them out in the poultice room while they're laying out on the mats, or in the saunas, or in the cold room, or in the cafeteria. They're with their phones the whole time. We put our phones up as soon as we got in there. Ain't gonna be no phones.
Because like I can understand it. Maybe you like to listen to music while you're doing all these things, but you have headphones on and you're not being disrespectful and you're just listening to your music.
Right.
That works for me. I'm okay with that.
Some people would just play music right off of their phone, no headphones. Play music for all of us.
I can't stand those niggas, whether it's in a spa or on the street. Or people that play music on their phones out loud. Right. Y'all are just
despicable people.
Like,
insufferable.
Get a set of headphones.
Crazy.
Please get a set of headphones.
So,
why everybody got to hear that?
You're right. Like, you have to choose the playlist for all of us.
Yeah.
Like, what?
We are forced to listen to what you want to listen to against our will.
Right. And again, so where these people come from or what they've known leads them to do these things, because I am not a believer that human beings are walking out here just can't wait to disrespect people. Like, I don't think that is most of the case. Homeboy at your job, 1,000%. I don't think that is the case most of the time. People just don't know what they're doing in what space they're doing it in, and they're not considering things. They're just oblivious. Their sight isn't that wide yet. Their gaze has not been widened that well yet. And so I just look at these people and I just have a ball. Like, wow, man, your world is very small.
Yeah.
Like, this is just, you just think everything you're doing is completely okay. Like, you're not even thinking twice about it.
Right.
We go get these massages upstairs. 60-minute shiatsu.
Okay. No deep tissue.
Now, shiatsu, right, is going to be dry, meaning no oils. They're just going to lay like a sheet or a towel above you and do all the work on top of that.
Okay.
Now, that was going to be $100 for 60 minutes.
Extra?
No, $100 for one person for 60 minutes.
But I'm saying that's on top of what you already paid just to get in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything else pretty much included except for food and massages.
You do have still a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is. Especially because you can be in there for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, all of this matters. $100, 60-minute shiatsu, dry rub, in a sense. Lady at the front, she's like, you sure you don't want to do the 125? That's with the aromatherapy. You're going to get the oils. It's much better. It's much better. I'm like, yeah, we just going to get this one. We just going to do this one.
I respect the game.
They gotta try. They gotta try. But here's one thing: is I didn't quite get up the stairs at the time that she did, my friend. So they had already asked her a few times. Then I got up there, and then they asked me a few times, and it's like, okay, we can respect the game, but y'all pushing it because you don't ask us now a total of 5 times, and we don't point it at this one 5 times.
Yeah.
So now stop playing with me.
Yeah.
There's an asterisk on there. The asterisk says, gratuity included in all massages.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's good to know that with these more expensive, 'cause I don't know if you know massage prices, but these are a bit more expensive. Usually it's like $1 a minute. So usually you go places, it's $60, $60.
Really?
Or 60, what did I just say? 60 minutes, $60.
I feel like a lot of the massages I've looked at be like $130 for 60 minutes.
Oh, where you at?
I mean, just in general.
Go to the mall. Go to the mall.
We'll see.
And it's good though.
I ain't never looked into those.
And I don't mean the ones outside where they're just like rubbing your back in front of everybody in the walkway. I'm talking about places that you go into, like you know what I mean. Like those are those usual prices.
All right.
So for $100, this is about $40 more, right, than that. So I was like, okay, well, it's nice to know that with these expensive prices that those are going into the tip for the employees. Like that's good to know. Go in there, start getting these massages. Dope. They did a great job. They be manhandling you. They take your shoulder and your opposite leg and hog tie you in a sense. You know what I mean? Crack your back up. They pick your neck, twist your neck, crack your neck. They got the bars overhead, and I don't go places to get massages unless they have the bars overhead now.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It means they get up on a stool, stand on your back, and grab bars over top of their head so that they can leverage their weight on your back and like press into your back and crack your back and do all put the heel in your back.
Yeah.
They heel toeing on top of you. It's amazing.
Wow.
So don't get me wrong, they did an amazing job. Towards the beginning, though, as she's massaging me, she's like, oh, you're so strong, 2 tenths. So strong. Oh, 2 tenths. Oil be much better. Oil be much better. Oil be much better. We should do oil. We want to do oil. And I was just like,
I'm about to tell you to get off.
At that point, I'm beyond. I was just like,
this peer pressure.
I ain't even. So I'm like, you know what? Extra 50. go ahead. Put the oils on me. Put the oils on her. Go ahead, do it. I'm like, yo, man, put the oils on us, man. Like, stop talking to me. Put the oils on. Let's go ahead and get it popping. They start putting oils on us. And I mean, it does feel great. But the extra $25 for that is absolutely ridiculous. For this little bit of coconut oil they put on. Like, it's not that wild. Like, you can barely smell it. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Uh-huh.
When I tell you, when they got done, felt like heaven. They propped us up. Felt great.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, would you like the tip? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Hey.
Oh, so you left a tip on top of the tip.
I was like, go ahead. I was like, y'all did a great job. Like, y'all did an amazing job. Well, Keion, I'm glad you're shaking my hand right now because they didn't shake my hand. Extremely upset with me. I said, yeah, you're right. You confused, right? Yes. So I said 10 on each. So $20 extra. She said, 20.
Hey, you better shut the...
Keion.
Nah.
Keion. She looked at me and was like, 20? I said, whoa. Wait, I was like, hold on a second. I said, hold on a second. Mine was 125. I started doing math. I'm like, wait, mine was 125. Yours was 125. It's 250. I was like, 270 is what I'm about to pay. I was like, yeah, go ahead. She said, 20. She was like, no. She was like, most people do $25, $30. I said, okay, before we came in here, it said that gratuity was involved. That was included.
Yeah.
She said, not much. Not much.
Like, who are you right now?
Right.
Like,
Keion, what? I'm like, how much gratuity is involved?
You gonna price gouge me face to face?
Bro, face to face. She had no shame in her game. She was looking me dead in my eyes. I was like, how much of the gratuity is the price? She was just like, not much. I'm like, so what is the percentage?
Whose problem is that?
She said, not much. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, listen.
Sound like y'all need to go on strike.
Right, right. And that's a conversation that we had later on is if you put that down on that form that we had to fill out, that gratuity is involved, that means that something shady's going on with the owners because you are putting this down here so that you can hike the price up. Mm-hmm. Because you know that more people will be susceptible to paying for something if the price is marked up, but you feel like you're already paying gratuity. Like that's already a part of it. Like if I told you can go out and have a fantastic like 3-4 course dinner right now, and it was gonna be $100, gratuity included. You'd be like, oh damn, that's kind of like 4-course meal, and you get like a glass of wine to go along with it, and anything more than that costs, you'd be like, oh, that's a good deal. Like I should,
sound like a good deal.
Yeah, like I would do that. That sounds like some restaurant week type shit.
Yeah,
like I would do that. But then the way
about restaurant week.
Stop. You know I took Sequoia.
Oh yeah.
So only went once, but I did it.
All right.
So the fact, imagine like that waiter coming back to you and being like, so you're not going to tip on top? Imagine a waiter looking at you. Bro, she was looking at me and they just wouldn't answer the question. What's the percentage? And she's like, not much. You sure you only want? And I'm just like, yo, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm paying $270 right now. So that's what it's going to be.
Right.
And you could only imagine that this stigma of black skin was probably coursing through their veins.
Cheap ass niggas.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's because y'all are put in this position. Now I'm thinking if that's the case, y'all, like you said, need to go on strike. Yeah. Y'all need to figure this out because that's no way to be. It was so serious and it was so lodged in our minds that the lady went to the front desk My friend went to the front desk and at the very end when we were leaving and asked the person, she was like, how much gratuity is included upstairs in the massages? You know what the person at the front desk said? First of all, she was like, 2%.
Damn.
First of all, you might be lying because they might have told your ass to say that. Secondly, if you're not lying, 2%. You guys even putting that on the application is
disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Absolutely.
And how disrespectful is it really?
Ultimate.
That is wildly disrespectful to your employees because you're putting your employees in a position where they may not be getting
tipped.
Exactly. Now, how disrespectful of it is that lady to look me in the face and say, only 20? How disrespectful do you think that is?
Still very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful.
I'm sorry that you're in a position that you're in. You chose to work here. I'm sorry that it sucks, but you're not going to look at me after I've chosen to give you a tip and tell me that it's not enough.
Bro, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings one year.
You're lucky I don't take the shit back.
right, for sure. Be like, you know what, $250, nothing now.
Yeah.
Nothing now. I was at now this is where I was trying to exercise empathy with her. I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings, and there, it's like $2.13 an hour, so you don't actually see that in your check. That's like a usual server's wage. Like you don't actually see that when it comes to check time. Mm-hmm. And there is no party of 6 or more automatic 20% gratuity included. Mm-hmm. That's not a thing. In certain, higher restaurants, that's a thing. Buffalo Wild Wings, not a thing. So you just at the mercy of the people mm-hmm. and what they know, what their version of respect is. Mm-hmm. That's it. They're at the mercy of their mood. Mm-hmm. And there was a time when I took a party of probably 20 people. It was a long family. It was like 3 generations, a lot of people. Now, I will say over in Europe, Asia, certain places, they don't tip because servers have a living wage. Mm-hmm. And in certain places, if you tip someone, it's disrespect. Mm-hmm. They take it as disrespect.
Oh, you think I'm broke?
Right.
That's what you think?
Exactly. So again, culture, it's different.
Right.
Middle Eastern party, 20 people. I was running back and forth all damn night, getting them things, drinks, sauces, dry rubs, napkins, food, whatever. I'm just running back and forth.
Just knowing you about to get a good tip.
And when you get, for sure, 20 people, like this about to rack up, like this going to be my night. Because when you get a table like that as a server, you don't get multiple tables. You usually have that table. You may get a 2-top, which is just 2 people at somewhere else. You may get that. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, this is your responsibility.
Well, it's also a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility.
You shouldn't be juggling a 20-person party as well as another 3 here, 4
and a 6 here.
And a 6.
No, that's not going to happen. So you just sit there and you focus on these 20 people. Yeah. I focused on these 20 people and got them everything that they needed for hours on end. They got the check. They wrote some stuff down on the check. They got up and they left. And I went over there. There was so much trash on that table. I promise you, I looked underneath every piece of trash.
Trying to find some cash.
I was picking up cups, little boats that the wings go in, napkins. I was scooting stuff off the table. I was there was not a penny on that table, Keion. I was livid.
I bet.
I went and worked for hours and I left with less money than I came to work with. Okay. I lost money going to work that day.
So what does your boss say to you when something like that happens?
There's nothing you can do.
Sorry about that one, Earl.
Yeah.
Maybe next time, buddy.
That's it. It's like, damn, man, that sucks, bro. I'm sorry. There's nothing.
You got a 20-seater and they didn't give you anything? Damn.
That's it. That's why it's kind of wild working in a place where you're not getting paid at least a minimum wage hourly as a server, because that's some sort of compensation because that'll add up through time. You'll at least see some of that back when you get your check. Mm-hmm. And that there's no safety net of a party of 5 or 6 or more, 20% gratuity included. Like if you work in a place where these aren't the things, you have to understand these people, they need these tips and they need them to be there all the time. Now, I'm not saying now there's still stuff that they need to be doing. They can't just be shitty and just be expecting tips. There is, give and take in this. And I understand that. But these people are living off of these tips. There's nothing that is saving them if you're just walking out and not tipping them correctly.
Right.
18% if they all right, 20% if they good. Anything more than that, they're amazing.
Yeah.
If you're tipping below 18%, you really did not like them at all. You really did not fuck with their experience.
My standard is 20.
Yeah, because people may not know this, so I may need to throw these numbers out there for them. That's why they started putting that percentage at the bottom of
A lot of people don't care. They're not going to give you a tip.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shitty people out here.
It's insane, bro. So I look at moments like that where I was thinking about running outside of the Buffalo Wild Wings and tackling this gentleman and asking him if he thought that this
You forgot the tip.
Like, do you think that, like, because it's like, bro, how disrespectful is this? Really? I don't know where you come from and I don't know how they do things there. So I don't know what you know. I don't know if you felt like I didn't deserve it. I don't know where your mind is. I don't know if you forgot to do it. I don't know any of these things. I truly don't know. So I don't know how people are looking through the lens of respect. And all I could come down to at the end of all of this processing is that you just got to be on your P's and Q's when you out here in the world.
Yeah.
But that choosing your friends, the people that are going to be around you, is paramount. It is so vital to the way, to your happiness and your way of being. You have to have an idea, like a firm understanding amongst the people that you know, truly in your circle, what is respectful and what is not. Those people you need to have a pact with. That needs to be a firm understanding. When you walk out in the world, you don't know what the hell you may get. But amongst the people that you call family and friends, real ones, y'all have to know what is respectful and what is disrespectful. You got to have it there because it gets crazy. Now, for the finale. This person that was supposed to be on the podcast a week ago. How disrespectful were they really? Maybe I'll never know. I don't know how they're viewing this. Would you like to say something before I go?
No, you go. You go. No. I'm listening. You go.
This person I had reached out to a month, maybe more than a month ago.
Right.
It was like, yo, would you like to come do this thing? They've been seeing it. They've been watching it on Instagram, watching it on my Snap story. You're like, yeah, sure, I'd love to be. Matter of fact, what I remember being said, I can't even believe that you would want me to be a part of that. Thank you so much. Like, I'm honored that you would want to have a conversation with me on this platform. That's so cool. I can't wait. I'm excited. This is awesome. I have so many juicy things to talk about. I can't wait for this. I think about this once every day.
That was said.
Yes.
Man, fuck out of here.
I will show you the receipts. I've thought about this once a day. This is probably 3 weeks into it now. I've thought about this once a day.
Okay.
These are things that were said to me from the person that was supposed to be on the episode that didn't come out last week. For all you guys, I'm sorry. If you listen to this every week and you didn't get an episode last week, I'm sorry. Let's get into why. The first time they were supposed to come, which was a couple weeks ago, it's probably like episode 106 or something like that, 107, they were supposed to be that person. These tentative plan-making things, I'm trying to figure out how people relate to time, okay? Different cultures, different upbringings, it hits different. We know of CP time, For y'all don't know, it's called color people time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make it up.
Yeah.
How late is that really? I don't quite know. What are you thinking?
CP time, I'm thinking refers to maybe if you're supposed to be there at 7, you get there at 7:30, 7:45.
Okay, what's fashionably late?
Fashionably late?
Is that CP time?
I feel like fashionably late is like longer than that for some reason. Maybe an hour and a half.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, then you can't call that. Then you can't. It may also depend on the function and how long the function is taking place, the duration of the function.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because you can't say CP time and then put something great afterwards, which is fashionable. You can't do that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I got to work out those times. We got to figure those out. I guess, I don't know, island times I heard are different. I heard a story from a Sudanese friend of ours that said that he's seen people just take phone calls and be like, oh yeah, you about to be at the spot? Yeah, I'm gonna be there soon. And they sitting down and they playing video games. And they have intentions of taking a shower and getting dressed before they even get in the car and go. So they're really not on the way.
Right.
At all. They're not going to be on the way for another hour.
They're not even prepped.
They're not even prepped. Yeah, and you know a little bit about that.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So my thing is, and I'm gonna preface a lot of what I'm gonna say with this, is I'm willing to take this responsibility. One, like you said, I gotta stop interacting with people that at some point in time you just know that this is how they roll.
Yeah.
Two, I'll also take accountability in that when you start doing something, when you start adopting lifestyles and habits into your life, it starts to shed light in places where that's not happening. So if I come on this podcast, like I did on the last one, and I'm talking to you about the way that I look at moments, in that every moment is the very first time that thing happened in human history, and it's the very last time it's ever going to happen in human history, and that we're all under some mass hypnosis, or people that don't understand that are under some mass hypnosis of the same things are happening day in and day out. Same old shit, different day.
Right.
That is false. That is a lie. It is not the same thing happening every day. You are not the person you were yesterday. Everyone else are not the people that they were yesterday. The world is not in the state that it was yesterday. Everything has changed since that time. It's just you and your matching abilities with prior memories that make you believe that the same thing is happening over and over. But it is an illusion. That's not happening.
Okay.
Right? If I'm looking at moments like that with people, and I'm looking at time the way that I do, and I'm spending my time the way that I do, immersed in these moments, I also have to understand that I'm going to come across a lot of people shitting on the way that I look at time, because that's an extraordinary way of looking at time.
It's just different perspectives.
Right, exactly. So I have to understand that I'm going to see a lot of people disrespect time. Disrespect their time,
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
disrespect my time.
Yep.
So I take accountability for that as well. I understand that. So the first time this person says, yeah, let's do this podcast on this day, X day. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do that. This person kind of leaves it up to like a block of hours that it could be. They're like, well, can we do it after work? I'm like, yeah, that's totally fine. Which means after 5 o'clock, right? So I'm assuming because of just the way that time works that you're trying to do this between 5 and like 8 o'clock,
right?
7 o'clock, really, because you wanting to start at like start a pod at like 8, 9, 10, like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, you want to get off of work, shower, get yourself together, whatever. That could take an hour, 2 hours. We start around 7, 7:30, 8, whatever. This person does not contact me for the better half of the day. So now what you're doing is you're placing this other person in a place of uncertainty for their day.
Yeah.
They do not know, they being me, not being able to know what they are allowed to do with their day.
Waiting on a phone call, waiting on a text.
I don't know if I can get up and go to the gym because that could be well within the time that you are in your mind thinking you're going to come over, but you're not communicating that to me, so I have no idea. So I'm just supposed to sit in a seat and wait.
Yep.
Right? Because you're not communicating. So then I communicate to this person, hey, When are you thinking? Oh, well, I'm thinking around this time, but I don't know. I may have done too much this day. I got a nail appointment. I got some shopping I need to do, and I need to go to the gym. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're getting off of work at like 4:35 o'clock. You're talking about you have a nail appointment, you have gym, and you have shopping to do.
Sounds like your evening is full.
What are you talking about? Now, this is like 1, 2 p.m. We're having this conversation. Mm-hmm. They're like, all right, you know what? Let me call you right back. Like, let me figure this out. I'm gonna call you back. Sounds good. I have the inclination that this is not going to take place. So I start breaking down all the equipment that is taking me time to set up, because this is also something that someone's not thinking about. That someone does this and they set things up. Yep. This is outside of their means of consideration. Mm-hmm. So they're not considering it. It doesn't matter to them. Right. They're not worried. They don't see someone else. That's what's so wild about this is like the vision is so narrow. It's just you and your life.
Yep.
And all these other people are just like avatars, just like non-playable characters, just kind of placed about in your world.
Yep.
They don't have real lives with real things going on.
Yep.
They're just extraneous information, just data. They're just a part of the matrix or something like that.
Yep.
Anywho, so I break all this stuff down, and I go on about my day because I stopped thinking that this is going to happen as soon as we get off that phone call.
Right.
So I go on about my day. It's now 3 hours after that phone call, around the time we were actually supposed to do this thing. Mm-hmm. And this person has not called me back. There's no text, no call. And so now we've gotten to the point where not only did you not hit me up that whole time, not only did you say you were going to hit me back and not hit me back? We are past the point where this thing was even supposed to be a thing. So and you've clearly made up your mind that you're not doing this thing.
Without telling me.
But you didn't think to reach out and tell me.
Right.
Which is wild.
This thing requires you and another person. What is the other person supposed to think? Without you letting them know. It's ridiculous.
Bro, like my mind was blown because I'm just like, I've never wanted to be the person that was, as I told you before on the phone, called unreliable. Mm-hmm. That does not sit well with me. When you think of you, Keion, I wouldn't trust him, man. He's unreliable. Like I wouldn't, like he's cool. Like when you're around him, like he's cool. He's a nice guy, but like I wouldn't rely on that nigga for shit.
Like, he's
not going to come through for you.
I don't want to be the person, like this conversation that we're having right now. I say this all the time. A nigga cannot have this conversation about me.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Nobody out here is second guessing my character.
Right.
My personality.
Your credibility.
My credibility. Like, no.
Yeah, no. I told you I need my street cred like I need my cred. Like I need it all to be through the roof. Like I need it all to be great.
Yep.
So I mean that blows my mind. Another thing about it is how deeply do you care about your word?
Yeah.
Like what does your word mean to you? When you say something to someone, what does that mean to you?
It's just words.
Like how do you value that?
Just words.
That's crazy.
Just words.
That's crazy to me. The
things that you're telling yourself, like I'm gonna go to this nail appointment. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go shopping. Like all those things really matter to you. But when it transforms into something that you're telling someone else, it's just like, it's not that serious.
So then last week's pod comes up. And this person again, oh man, I'm so excited. It's gonna be we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna talk about this, that, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Can't wait. Let's do it X day this week. Sounds great. Let's do it that day. There's a day in between. So she's saying this on a day that's probably like noon on a Tuesday or something. There's the rest of that Tuesday and a whole Wednesday has got to go by so you can give me some more information about what's taking place on Thursday. Though all that time lapses. Thursday's here. I'm hearing nothing. Mm-hmm. 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 9 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. It's noon. I'm like, hey, What's up, man? What's going? Do you have insight into what may be going on for you today? Oh yeah, let's shoot for this time. Actually, that day they were just like, oh, I've actually just been sick in bed all day. I've been meaning to text you, but I just didn't. And I'm just like, so I'm
with respect to her being sick, but still,
that's great.
At this point, it's been dragging for several weeks. So you being sick is just it's still gonna blow me.
Yeah, like you can be sick, that's fine, but you still in this sick state found a way to answer this text message,
right?
So why couldn't you have picked up the phone and texted me and let me? Why am I reaching out to you to find out what is going on here?
I don't appreciate the cat and mouse. Like, it's just too much. It's too much.
So that's the predicament we're in, and I'm just like, get better, take care. Like, well, I hope that this didn't, throw a damper on your day. I just want you to take care. But keep in mind that there was also a backup day. Just in case anything happened that day, we were going to do it Saturday. Saturday comes around. Hit him up. What's going on? You have any insights maybe into what your day looks like and whether you're going to have time to come around and do this thing? Yeah, let's shoot for this time. But I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know if we need to push it, but let's shoot for that time. In my mind, you already know. I'm there. I'm like, okay, this is not, but I'm going to entertain it though. I'm going to see how far this goes. Twitch later on, Mike, so what are you thinking? 2 o'clock hits, 3 o'clock hits. It's supposed to be a 5 o'clock that we're shooting for. 4 o'clock hits, 5 o'clock hits, 6 o'clock hits. Get a text message 6 o'clock. Oh, I'm just getting done from coming from the mall and I'm getting to my nail appointment. All these nail appointments. Right. Getting to my nail appointment right now. I was meaning to text you, but I got sidetracked. I was sidetracked. I was on the track on the side. you and what I was supposed to be doing was the main track.
Right.
I'm on the side.
Not thinking about the main.
Not thinking about the main. I have yet to respond to this person. And
podcast card revoked.
And I'm thinking, as I told you and Mike, this person is not. They're not a mean-spirited person.
Yeah.
I know them. They're not.
Yeah.
But how disrespectful was all this really, though?
Top level.
That's wild.
Top level.
Like you don't care about your word and what you say you're going to do. You don't care about what I have going on with my time. Now, there was some bail I was trying to shoot her for a second, right? Like I was going to try to absolve her of some of this. I tried to just think, I had to try to think outside the box. This is a wild mental exercise for me. I thought, how often do people know that they have bad news for someone, but don't want to tell them? So they just don't get around to telling them that until it's forced upon them because the person comes to them and is like, hey, you got something you need to tell me?
Right.
And then it's like, oh, fuck. Well, now that you say it. And I'm thinking, I wonder just how much that
I feel like
played.
I've definitely been guilty of that at some point in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that this played into of getting to a point of, listen, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this thing, but like, I can't text him that. I can't say it. So instead of texting and giving him the time, I'm just going to not say anything.
I'm sure there was probably, because I don't believe that it was so sidetracked that this person just completely forgot. Like, it'd be hard for me to believe that.
Bro, I don't know anything anymore. Aside from throughout all this processing, I don't know how people relate to time. I don't know what as far as people, when they look at time and they look at themselves and the time it takes to do things or the time it takes for other people to do things, like how they relate to it. I don't know how they feel about time. I don't know if it's if it's something that they feel like is loose because that's the way life is. I literally know people that feel like they can't get a grasp on time. Like they don't know how to manage time. And they don't know how long certain things are going to take. It's sort of like when I don't know if you've ever seen these videos or tweets of people. I don't even know why I know this. I think I may have seen a video of it. But it's just when people ask super, super wealthy people how much something costs. And like something like a Snickers bar. And like they've just been so taken out of society. So ostracized in a way, right? Like they're so disconnected. They don't know. They're like, I don't know, $20? Like they're talking about a Snickers bar. Like they don't know how much things cost. They're just so out of touch with it. I don't know that people know what time is, conceptually speaking. I don't know.
I can see that. A lot of people just probably aren't paying attention to. They just know that we're here.
Right. Like people that are constantly like late for work or late to pick up their kids or they're just late to functions. Like they're just never on time for anything. There has to be something to be said for these people. And it's not always culture. Like sometimes in certain cultures, like cultures that take place in the siesta where they just sleep in the middle of the day and hang out with their family and eat lunch and hang out and shit like that. Like shops close down and people just go relax.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Or people in Italy that are just cooking tons of pastas and they're sitting around with their family and you just sit and you relax and you hang out. And it doesn't have this super metropolitan feel about getting up and moving at 200 beats per minute all the time. There are different cultures.
10,000 steps a day.
There are different ways of interacting with time within different cultures. I understand that. But it's certainly interesting getting to know how people relate to time. Their time, your time, time in general, what that means to them. And when you're trying to do business or just collaborate with other people that are outside of the people that you know, because you understand to some degree how other people in your circle relate to time. I understand how you relate to time. You understand how I relate to time. Like we have a pretty decent idea of if I tell you to be somewhere or you tell me to be somewhere, like when we're going to be there or how reliable we are or how we care about what the other one has going on, right? Like we take those things into consideration. But when you're just outside of that, it's just a toss up, bro. Like it's the fucking jungle out there. You just have no idea how people, it's very fascinating figuring out what respect is to people, what is disrespectful to do.
A lot of people on the other side of the spectrum, man, just living their lives.
It's just a very large,
not giving a shit.
Yeah, it's just a very large spectrum. But you're right, that is the case. There was actually, now that you say that, a woman at the spa, and at one point in time, she had accidentally cut in front of somebody in a line, and her friend looked back at the person behind them and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, she didn't say we just cut. I'm gonna tell you exactly what she said. She meant, did we just cut you in line? What she said was, I'm sorry, did we just bust right now? But the person behind them understood what they meant. It was just like, yeah, you kind of did. And they're like, oh, well, you gotta let us know. You gotta say something. Like you didn't look like you was in line. And the other person was like, yeah, come on now. I be oblivious. I be disrespecting people all the time and I don't ever know it. Like, I just be oblivious in this world. Like, I don't be knowing nothing.
That's not a good thing.
And this is what I was explaining to my friend. They said it like that. And so what you're picking up on some sort of pride, some sense of pride that they have behind those words. Cause they did say it just like that with that tone.
It's almost like it was an apology, but it wasn't.
Well, it's an admission of guilt, it's an admission of you being also guilty of being an oblivious person, just like I said, one of these sleeping zombies just walking the planet.
This is why I did it.
Right.
Is that okay with you though?
But I did it. I mean, and they got out of line. They they did what was right. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy because it's like when people say, oh, I'm clumsy. I'm just a clumsy person. that is an admission of this is a part of your character.
Expect me to trip and fall a lot.
Expect me to do that. Expect me to spill something on you. Expect me to knock things over, break things of yours. That's who I am.
I can't break out of it. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And that's my whole issue, is that people take this thing and adopt it into their character like it's something that can't be worked on. Like focus and attention is something that can't be worked on. It's just like, oh, I'm just a clumsy person. I'm. You know, there's an idea I have about the way that our language helps us. I've been thinking about, and doesn't help us in things, because it truly is the way that we conceptualize things is through language. And we say in English, I am something. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm clumsy. And people sort of adopt those things as this is who I am. This is the type of person I am. Now, in Spanish, there are two verbs for I am. There's estar and there's ser. Estar is for temporary feelings, right? Estoy triste. That means I am sad. But what you're really saying is that in this moment, I am sad. I am temporarily sad. You use ser for things that you are, like soy Earl. Like that. That's my name.
That is definite.
Exactly. It's so that's it. The definite and the indefinite.
Okay.
And not to say that this necessarily helps Hispanics or Spanish-speaking people in the sense, because they adopt their feelings just like we do in English, but it should help, because we should be teaching things through our language differently. I am feeling this emotion. I am experiencing this thing, as opposed to I am clumsy. It should be, that was a clumsy thing I did. I should work on that. Yeah. Like that should be the language. And when I was reading Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell that I brought up last time, there was an interesting point in this chapter called Rice Paddies and Math. Okay. And it was about the Asian culture and the way we look at them in math and why they're so good at it. Because again, this book is about how certain people excel, how certain things or people become outliers in any given field. We hate math in America. For the most part, people hate math.
I hate math.
We hate the language around it. It doesn't make sense to a lot of us, but it shouldn't be that way. So the very first thing he started explaining in that is that their language is built to make math make sense. Meaning we say 3/5. And I think it was Chinese or Korean. Their language literally translates to out of 5 parts, take 3.
Okay.
We say 3/5. They say out of 5 parts, take 3. Okay. Like that's what it means when they say it. We say 20. They say 2 tens. Okay. So when we have to add up 2 tens or, say 35 plus 22, we have to conceptualize the 35 and the 22 in our mind and do that math. They're thinking, well, 3 tens and 2 tens. So you know that's 5 tens. And then you have these, two ones and 3, whatever the fuck number is I just said. Right. And you just add those up. It's 3 tens over here, it's 2 tens over there. And you just put those two together. So the language is geared towards making math make sense. It makes sense logically through the language. Yeah. And I just think that when it comes to language, we do a bad job of explaining what things mean and how we ought to relate to the things that we're saying. So then people aren't just saying words, as you said the person was when they just said, yeah, I'll be there whatever time and we can do it. I can't wait to podcast. It's going to be so amazing.
Yeah, that's what's going to make him happy right now.
Right. So you're just saying words. And I think we just have to do better with our language in the way that we portray.
With communication as a whole.
Yeah.
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 Just overall.
Yeah. Because what do you mean you're not going to text me? What do you mean you're not going to text me and let me know that you're no longer doing this thing? Yeah. That's just wild. Yeah. And last thing I'll say on this is, this has to be my last words.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
My last words for the people. Doors shut on you when you are unreliable, when you're a dickhead, when you're an asshole, when you're just a mean-spirited person, when you're not pleasant to be around, when you don't appreciate other people's time. These doors will close on you. And the worst part is, a lot of times, you'll never know. Mm-hmm. You'll have no idea what didn't come your way. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell that story real fast because this hits. It connects. Mm-hmm. Because the person I'm talking about knows this other person I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
I was in this position one time where a manager of sorts came to me and said, hey, do you know blah, blah, blah? Because they just put you as a reference on their application to this place. Do you vouch for blah, blah, blah? I said, do not hire them on my name. If you would like to hire them on whatever credentials and whatever status it is that you gain from talking, that's not on my name. And that was enough. Because then he looked at me and thought, oh, well, if you're saying that, then just know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yep.
And they passed on that person. And to this day, that person does not know that the reason that they got passed up on that job is because I didn't want them attached to my name.
They fucked up by putting you on there.
Exactly. And chances are, if you're one of these unreliable types that doesn't consider other people or consider things in general, you're going to use someone's name that don't even fuck with you.
Yep.
Because you don't even know that they don't fuck with you like
and
that.
They closed that door a long time ago.
Right.
feel it.
So that's what happens. So think about who you are and how you treat people. It matters.
Definitely.
And consider respect and disrespect in your life.
Yeah.
And what that means to you. And if you communicate that courageously and confidently and honestly with the people in your life so that they know what is disrespectful and what is not, so that you guys can recalibrate your relationship in a way that is mutually beneficial. Those are my last words.
My last words are disrespect. It's not, I'm sorry, something like just hit me in the eye. No, disrespect, I mean, it's not a good thing. It's not. No, listen. It's not a good thing. It's, to be honest with you, it's, even if you think it's just part of you, it's not a great character trait. It shouldn't be a part of your personality.
That's wild. Oh, I'm just disrespectful. Like,
yeah, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just imagine how many people actually say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's happening.
Yeah, no,
It's
that
happening.
is very true. That's very true.
It's not a good character trait. As Earl said, it will close some doors for you, doors that you didn't even know were open, doors that you'll never know closed. It just overall, don't be like any of the people that we've talked about on this podcast.
1000%.
Don't be
none of them.
Don't be like those people.
Yeah, this was a straight just 2 hours of don't be them.
Don't be like those people.
Don't be them.
You can. I know that just us as a human race, we can be most of us. Some of us. I said most. I had to dumb it down to some. Some of us can be better. Some of us can be better. Absolutely.
And it could be you.
It could be you. And that's and you know what? That's not to say that me or Earl are perfect, even though we've been called that before, which is a crazy thing.
We all can't be perfect like you and Keion, Earl, all right?
Yeah.
But like, bro, listen. You mushed a lawyer's face in the courtroom. No one told you to do that. It doesn't take having to be perfect to not mush your lawyer's face in the courtroom, which gets you more time than you already about to get.
Yeah. So
Jeez Louise.
We are not perfect.
Shout out to that guy.
Even though we have been called that. But I'm trying to tell you, there's a better way. It's a better way to just, there's better ways.
There are better ways.
To heighten your senses, become more aware, and just be a better person, especially to the people around you, the people that are close to you.
Come on, man.
Because those are the ones that usually get hurt the most, you know what I'm saying, by your disrespectful traits. Peace.
Episode 108. No, 109. 109. Damn. All right. See, it's taking a week. Fuck me up. Jeez Louise. Peace.